allot. To use a particular amount of time for something, or give a particular share of money, space to someone or something. Try and allot 2 or 3 hours a day to revision. Each school will be allotted 20 seats. The department has already spent more than its allotted budget. Allocate. To use something for a particular purpose, give something to a particular person, especially after an official decision has been made. To decide officially that a particular amount of money, time should be used for a particular purpose. The importance of allocating resources to local communities. $1 million was allocated for disaster relief. The company has allocated funds for the design of 4 plants. Moderator. Someone whose job is to control a discussion or an argument between people. Someone who makes sure that an examination is fair, and that the marks given are fair and correct. A religious leader who is in charge of the Council of the Presbyterian and United Reformed Churches. He is former moderator of the General Assembly. It all depends on the moderator, who is rarely paid for the service. Alternate. If something happens on alternate days, weeks, it happens on one day and not the next, and continues in this pattern. 2 alternate things are placed one after the other in a regular pattern. Used to replace another thing of the same type. The service runs on alternate days. Alternate blue and red stripes. The appointment of an alternate director. She alternated between outrage and sympathy. Periods of depression alternate with excited behavior. Alternative. An alternative idea, plan is difficult from the one you have and can be used instead. Deliberately different from what is usual, expected, or traditional. Something you can choose to do or use instead of something else. Alternative approaches to learning. Sources of alternative energy. Tolerance of alternative lifestyles. Is there a viable alternative to the present system? I had no alternative but to repeat him to the police. Rotate. To turn with a circular movement around a central point, or to make something do this. If a job rotate, or if people rotate jobs, they each do a particular job for a particular period of time. To change the places of things or people, or to change places, especially in a circular direction. To regularly change the crops grown on a piece of land, in order to preserve the quality of the soil. The earth rotates on its axis once every 24 hours. The chairmanship of the committee rotates annually. Rotating tires every few months helps them last longer. Collaborate. To work together with a person or group in order to achieve something, especially in science or art. To help a country that your country is fighting a war with, especially one that has taken control of your country. The 2 nations are collaborating on several satellite projects. Researchers are collaborating to develop the vaccine. Vigilantes began combing the city for anyone known to have collaborated with the enemy. Collaboration. When you work together with another person or group to achieve something, especially in science or art. When someone gives help to a country that their country is fighting a war with, especially one that has taken control of their country. The company is building the center in collaboration with the Institute of Offense Engineering. A collaboration between the 2 theaters. The project has involved collaboration with the Geography Department. Cooperate. To work with someone else to achieve something that you both want. To do what someone wants you to do. The 2 universities are to cooperate in the development of a new industrial process. Lions cooperate with each other when hunting game. I advised my client to cooperate fully with the police. Coordinate. To organize an activity so that the people involved in it work well together and achieve a good result. To make the parts of your body move and work together well. If clothes, decorations coordinate, or if you coordinate them, they look good together because they have similar colors and styles. Equal in importance or rank in a sentence. The agencies are working together to coordinate policy on food safety. Her movements were beautifully coordinated. Don't be afraid to mix colors, as long as they coordinate. Coordinate clause is joined by an. Defer. To delay something until a later date. Further discussion on the proposal will be deferred until April. The committee deferred their decision. Suspend. To officially stop something from continuing, especially for a short time. To make someone leave their school or job for a short time, especially because they have broken the tools. To attach something to high place so that it hangs down. Sales of the drug will be suspended until more tests are completed. The 2 police officers have been suspended until an inquiry is carried out. A large light was suspended from the ceiling. He was suspended by his feet and beaten with metal bars. Incur. If you incur a cost, debt, or a fine, you have to pay money because of something you have done. If you incur something unpleasant, it happens to you because of something you have done. If the council loses the appeal, it will incur all the legal costs. She wondered what she'd done to incur his displeasure this time. Substantial. Large in amount or number. Large and strongly made. We have the support of a substantial number of parents. A substantial salary. A substantial breakfast. A substantial piece of furniture. Anticipate. To expect that something will happen and be ready for it. To think about something that is going to happen, especially something pleasant. To do something before someone else. Sales are better than anticipated. The schedule isn't final, but we don't anticipate many changes. Daniel was eagerly anticipating her arrival. Copernicus anticipated in part of the discoveries of the 17th and 18th centuries. 4c. To think or know that something is going to happen in the future. I've put your name on the list and I don't foresee any problems. The disaster could not have been foreseen. Few analysts foresaw that oil prices would rise so steeply. No one foresaw that he was planning. Represent. To officially speak or take action for another person or group of people. To speak officially for someone in a court of law. To form or be something. To have been elected to Parliament, Council by the people in a particular area. To be a sign or mark that means something. To be a symbol of something. If you represent your country, school, town in a sport, you take in sports event for that country. To describe someone or something in a particular way, especially in a way that is not true. If a painting, statue, piece of music represents something or someone, it shows them. Mr. Kobayashi was chosen to represent the company at the conference. She decided to represent herself. European orders represented 30% of our sales last year. He represents the Congressional District of Illinois. Brown areas represent deserts on the map. He hated the school and everything it represented. Her greatest ambition was to represent her country at the Olympics. The article represents the millionaire as a simple family man. Paintings representing religious themes were common in medieval times. Representation. When you have someone to speak, vote, or make decisions for you. A painting, sign, description that shows something. The act of representing someone or something. A formal complaint or statement. Minority groups need more effective parliamentary representation. The clock in the painting is a symbolic representation of the passage of time. She received praise for her effective representation of Garcia during the trial. A group of students made representations to the college about the poor standard of the accommodation. Representative. Someone who has been chosen to speak, vote, or make decisions for someone else. Typical of a particular group or thing. Including examples of all the different types of something in a group. A representative system of government allows people to vote for other people to vote for other people to represent them in the government. A union representative. An elected representative of the people. The latest incident is representative of a wider trend. The pollsters asked a representative sample of New York residents for their opinions. A representative democracy.